Okay, so welcome to my very first Hero Academia review. This was right on time for me to jump on board because Stain, Deku, Iida, Gran Torino, Endeavor, insanity right here, people. So let's talk about Stain for a quick second. Now, going into this chapter, one of the things that I personally think about Stain, and I don't know if this is a theory that's floating around, I haven't really been on forums when it comes to this particular series, but I think it's a possibility at one given point, maybe Stain is a ex-hero, maybe he was somebody else at some given point, and he actually was believing in justice, and maybe he's seen the corruption of the ideals of what a hero is actually supposed to represent and supposed to be, because if you see, one of the big things is he doesn't like when people say they're heroes, but they're out for themselves, or they're out for something other than what a hero is supposed to be. So maybe that's why he went on this path of basically not vengeance, but to correct society. And it's really interesting if you think about it, that a villain is actually looking out for the ideals of what heroes should be. And granted, you know, he's killing motherfuckers. I mean, look what he did to Iida in this chapter, look what he did to Iida's brother. But I mean, what he's saying, what he's preaching isn't really wrong. And I like that, where it gets into that it's not just a black and white, oh no, he's a bad guy, he's a good guy. He is bad, I mean, definitely, without a doubt, he's killing people and stuff like that, but he wants to correct a system that he feels is flawed. Is, I think, one of the biggest reasons why Stain is killing heroes left and right. He's really targeting them and using his quirk, which I'm guessing that it has something to do with immobilizing his enemy or whatnot, and that's why he's fucking everyone up, which is a deadly quirk. I mean, in order to take out Stain, I think you have to double team or triple team him. That way, maybe his quirk won't be able to work on everybody at once. I don't know exactly how his quirk would work, but we've seen time and time again that he can freeze people. But I think if you double, triple team him, then maybe you could take out Stain. And it's interesting as well coming into this chapter. Like, one of the things I like about the structure of Academia, and granted it's not perfect or whatever, but when Deku punched Stain at the end, while it was epic as fuck and the art was awesome, one of the things about Hero Academia as well, real quick, the art just looks clean as fuck, is Stain didn't really just fly off or fall down or anything, and it showcases that the villains and the top dog villains aren't really getting that phased by the younger kids, which I'm glad, because at the end of the day, it's kind of like you go to a series and imagine just Luffy coming in and punching Whitebeard and Whitebeard falling, you know, during one of the earlier arcs. It'd be like, what? So you need to have it where, like, okay, granted, Deku just kind of saved Iida and he had an epic moment, but Stain stood his ground and didn't really fall if you look at the, you know, end of the chapter. So it's actually building up that, yeah, they're getting up there, but they're still rookies at the end of the day. They're still not official heroes, so they can't really deal with the problems the way official hero would. I mean, even Stain has been taking out the official hero, so I mean, granted, it could be that Stain at the very last second used his quirk to stop the punch from full on, you know, knocking him the fuck out, but it still showcases that the villains are, at the end of the day, what they're meant to be, and they're still, you know, rookie heroes. They're not really able to do what needs to be done yet. And I ain't gonna lie, Tamura has one of the most sickest designs, and I like the way the character, like, you know, it's just truly menacing and whatnot, but I wish Tamura would do a little bit more instead of just, like, sending lackeys, like, oh, well, I sent 3 Nomuras and shit like that. It's like, how about you try? I know you're a little injured or whatever, but I wish he would do like a little bit more other than just like sit behind the scenes and send motherfuckers, because he's looking like he's just some salty, bitter motherfucker. He's even like, oh, I don't like the hero killer, so I'm doing it like that. Like, come on, bro. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest Gran Torino fan or whatever, but it was epic as shit to see him going in action, and I'm curious what it was that made him stop. There's a lot of little mysteries here or there, like, for example, who was the person that passed down the torch, basically. Well, we know more or less who it was, but not exactly who it was, if that makes any sense, to All Might, who it was that gave him the actual quirk, and what happened to him. We can assume that he died. Maybe it was All Might's father, maybe it was somebody really close to All Might, because, well, we know it was someone somewhat close to All Might, so another mystery right there. But just seeing Gran Torino going in and it's like, I haven't had a fight like this in a while. Maybe Gran Torino could die this arc, possibly. I mean, we see the author is getting pretty dark. Iida getting stabbed the fuck up, and the hero killer slash motherfuckers left and right, so who knows? And again, it's probably too early for Gran Torino to go, so it's a very slim possibility Gran Torino will die. I mean, he's only been like, what, a handful of chapters? I mean, that would be kind of premature, I guess. Seeing Endeavor there as well is like, one of the things about Endeavor is he feels almost as if he's more of a villain than a hero. So to actually see him do something heroic and come and save the day and help out and shit like that, I'm like, since when, bro? You act like if you're a mustache twirling motherfucker, the way you treated Todoroki all his life and everything that you did, like, why does he even get to be a hero? I mean, granted, yeah, he's awesome and, you know, he came and saved the day, so maybe he does somewhat have some ideals, whatever, but if you think about it, he's exactly what's wrong with society as far as, you know, the academia world goes and the heroes, because, like, this is what the hero killer Stain was saying, like, Endeavor is just worried about, passing All Might and being number one. He's not really, at the end of the day, 100% focused on just saving people, which is what a hero does. And I think that that's what Deku is going to hopefully change and, morph everything where people aren't going to be thinking about, oh, I need this money, oh, I need to do it for that, and just be genuine heroes. I'm looking forward to next chapter. I mean, granted, I don't think Deku's going to be able to do much. I think him and Iida are going to have to work together just to scrape by, because Stain's quirk, number one, being able to immobilize heroes seemingly, but also Stain is, he killed motherfuckers, he killed heroes at that, so Deku has his work cut out. But I think if him and Iida, even though Iida's injured, work together, maybe they can survive this encounter, but I don't see them defeating him at all. I mean, come on. This motherfucker's a pro. Let me know what you guys thought of this chapter. First of all, how epic as fuck did you think? I mean, we had Endeavor showing up, we had Gran Torino going in, we had the hero killer versus Iida. Granted, to be honest with you, one of the things I felt was a little bit cliche, but I mean, it had to happen, was when Deku came at the right time to save Iida. I mean, it felt cliche, not gonna lie about that, but it was still epic, and the way it was done is like, it doesn't necessarily have to be always original, but if it's pulled off in the right way with the right emotion, then it was alright. But overall, this chapter, very good stuff, I'm not gonna lie. For my very first Hero Academia chapter, I would say giving it an 8 out of 10. The ending part, yeah, it's cliche, but it was still epic as fuck. And honestly, this chapter, just like Endeavor showing up, I don't know, I just couldn't imagine him being a fucking hero, even though he is a hero and he's like the second hero of all time because of everything he did to Todoroki. Your overall thoughts of the chapter. Do you feel that while Stain, yes, he's a piece of shit and he's killed motherfuckers, his logic behind it isn't necessarily flawed? Your overall thoughts. Again, my first Hero Academia review. Really excited to be doing this, back on board with this series. And Superman, move the fuck out the way because it's Hero Academia's time. So after this review, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm Finette World, and as always, people, have an awesome day.